All right, welcome back to the Moment Talk to Experience radio show for Saturday, October 9th, 2021. My guest is here. She is a mother, a creator, the founder of Dokimos Apparel. She will get more into that about what it is and why she started it. So this is the founder, Miss J Teri Liggons Brown.
Yes,
how are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm feeling better. Feeling good. You know, there's a lot going on. We talked about that, but you know, God's still able. God's still moving.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sometimes we got to count blessings. Sometimes we count our hardships more than our blessings, and we gotta understand that. So, how was your week?
Oh, it was great. I just one little slight correction. I'm a wife also.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes,
and a wife.
that's okay. That's okay. I have a great husband, so I never ever want to leave him out the loop of anything that I'm doing. He's so super supportive.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I'm glad you had a good week. So
I did have a great week.
Yes. So can you tell us who is J Teri Liggons Brown?
Yeah. So you kind of hit it on the nail. I am I'm a wife. Let me back up. I'm a Jesus lover.
All right.
I'm a God follower, believer. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I'm a noni, grandmother. I am that as well, and I am a creator. I created Dokimos Apparel, and last year in 2020. So we're new. I launched in February of this year, but I sat on it for a year basically before it kind of came to fruition.
Wow. Okay. We'll never get into that, how that manifested. And so I see the idea was created during the pandemic. So we'll get to that. So who are we growing up? Where were you like growing up?
So I am a North Philly girl.
Okay.
So lived in North Philly. Well, initially when my parents were together, I was in Germantown.
Gotcha.
Separated, grew up in North Philly, so I'm a North Philly girl. But I lived out in Delaware County since 2007. So, yeah.
Okay. So as you got older, what were the things you used to do growing up?
What were some? I'm sorry, because
I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's why we already live. So like so things happen already live. So like that. So
gotta work around it.
Yeah. So what were your favorite things to do growing up?
So some of my favorites, of course, as a kid, hanging with your girlfriends, and I used to dance when I was younger. It was all about my friends. I was a daddy's girl, so it wasn't a situation where I needed to have a. Might sound horrible, but I didn't need to have a job. My dad did everything for me. Unfortunately, until he passed away in my senior year. But I mean, for me, when I was young, it was about having fun with your friends. Hanging out with your girlfriends, spending the night at your friend's house, that kind of thing.
Right.
All innocent. Innocent. Everything's just innocent. It's a lot different now, but that's what it was for me when I was young. Piano lessons. My mom had me in piano, had me in dance, that kind of thing. So yeah.
Okay. So let's go back, fast forward to what you're doing now. So, how did your parents say your birthday during the pandemic? So how did that come together?
So you know what? My mom passed away in 2019, November. Actually, next month will be 2 years. And when my mom passed away, it actually birthed an organization that I also have called You Care I Give for caregivers. So I kind of delve into that a little bit, but I guess with the pandemic and everything going on, it's still trying to process my mom's death. I kind of fell off on my organization, but in the interim, with church being closed and doing online streaming to go to church, my pastor, I had a conversation with my husband, like, you know what, I want to try to get into some sort of business. Didn't really know what I wanted to do because I didn't know if I wanted to just focus on the organization You Care I Give or just do something else. So I said to my husband, something I want to do, I don't know what that is. I think I might want to do a t-shirt brand, but I'm not really sure. So going having services live streaming. My pastor, I'm watching him one Sunday in April, and he talked about my pastor, Clement Lupton, beloved St. John. Shout out, Pastor. He's a teacher, so he dives in to the origin of words in the Bible.
Gotcha.
So this particular day, he spoke about having a dokimos kind of love from God. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, dokimos? I said, that's a weird word, you know? And he said, it's a Greek word that means God's approval.
Oh.
So I said, wow. And it sat on me. I wrote it down and kind of like tucked it away.
Okay.
Because I didn't know I didn't know what God was trying to do with me with this word. And I'm like, Lord, what am I supposed to do with this word?
Right.
And then it hit me like, that's going to be the name of your brand for this t-shirt line. And so I'm like, okay. So I told my husband about it. My husband, and that was in April. So in May, or I expressed to my husband that I wanted to like definitely do the shirts. So in May, he went and bought me a heat press. Well, the heat press sat in a box.
Oh, wow.
Until the end of the year. Like, but so much was going on. George Floyd.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So much. The
Right.
pandemic was really heavy. And it was just a lot going on. So my focus was just, wasn't there. So one day I'm sitting there and I'm watching TV. And I watch, Hip Hop Atlanta, this, that, and the other. So I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, I'm watching these people make all this money and I'm sitting on money with the heat press. So it hit me, and I was like, you know what? Let me get off my tail and do what I'm supposed to do, what God ordained for me to do, which I felt like He did.
That's right. So
my husband went and bought a cricket. Now, mind you, all of this is going through the year 2020. So we come up to November. So that's when I had the epiphany to get off the couch and do what I needed to do.
Right.
So I applied for my LLC. But when the LLC came back in the mail, it hit me that this is real. Like, it's really time to hit the ground running and do what you're supposed to do with this. So, got sick in December. My husband bought me a cricket machine. Got sick in December, had COVID.
Wow.
Got knocked down for a couple weeks, so pushed it back again. So everything's still in the box, mind you. Never opened the heat press, never opened the cricket machine. Everything's in the box. Beginning of the year, I'm like, okay, let's get it. Let's get this ball rolling. And sure enough, I kind of hit the ground running. But the purpose and the premise behind my brand is not just to sell t-shirts, not just to monetize off of it. My purpose is to start a feel-good brand. Meaning, so like if you purchase something from me, my hashtag is, how are you wearing dokimos? So I want you to be able to tell me I'm wearing it with love, I'm wearing it with peace, joy, happiness, whatever that looks like for you. I'm trying to start a movement with a feel-good brand. It's just not a t-shirt for me.
Right. It's like
it's a movement.
A movement.
Yes, it's a movement. So
it's something more than a t-shirt.
It's something more than t-shirts. Absolutely.
Wow.
So that's kind of like where I started, how everything happened, and I'm just really passionate about the movement. It's hard, of course. It's rolling slow because some people, they take a picture, they send it to you, but they're still not telling you how you're wearing it. So sometimes I have to respond to them and say, well, tell me how you're wearing it. I need to know what's you're feeling like. And if you're not having a good day, say that that's what it is, but I want you to understand that when you put, like today, I'm wearing my dokimos with sunshine. I'm yellow today. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but with happiness and with joy in my heart, that's just how I feel right now. So,
amen.
And that's the movement. That's the purpose and the premise behind what I'm doing.
So we got started. We woke up and say, I want to start this. What was the process like for you to put this? How'd you come up with the logo and stuff like that for those? I'm actually tired of the branding. How'd you come up with that?
You know what? I'm kind of okay, everything takes money, so I don't have a team. My team is my family at this point. Okay. So I did everything online. As far as the logo, I don't really, this is what it, not the box, but the line with the crown and that kind of thing. I did it off of, what is it? What's the website where you can do, I can't think of the name of it, but I went on there and I'm looking at logos and I'm like, okay, that kind of fits with what I'm going on, what I have going on with the crown and that kind of thing. Something simple. Maybe when rebranding comes, I can do something different. Right. But for now, I'm like, okay, that works for what I need. I just kind of, I did research and kind of did things on my own. Thank God I do have a 17-year-old son who's very tech savvy with the computer. So anything that I do not understand, my son is right there on it. My daughter has her master's degree in communication.
All right, there you
so
go.
she's able to, as far as like marketing and ideas and things like that, creative direction, that's my daughter. So I kind of lean on her for that. And then my husband, I'm like, babe, I have pop-ups, I have this, I have that. He's right there with me. So it's a family affair.
So I am business Q say we refer to Canva.
No, not Canva. It begins with a W, and Lord, I'm drawing a blank because that's where I get my business cards from too.
Vistaprint? No. Vistaprint? No.
No, not. It begins with a W. I can't think of the name. It'll come to me. I'm sorry. That's that old lady brain. That's that old lady brain. I cannot think of it.
They wasn't come out. I just was like, it came up to me in the word.
Yeah, I can't think of it because you can do your websites on there too.
Weebly?
No, not that one. What's the other one? It's the other
WordPress? No.
No, I'm sorry. I can't think of it. It's killing me. I'm sorry. I can't think of it.
Oh man.
It'll come to me.
Okay.
It'll come to me.
Yeah. So you did that. So what was your first event like selling your shirts, and what was that experience like?
So actually, I was able to sell prior to me even building my website, getting my website up. Now my website is through Shopify, but I was able to sell just word of mouth. Like when I tell you, my friends and family, they really showed up. When I launched in February, my website wasn't even up yet. I was kind of like selling at the end of January going into February. And my friends and family stepped up to the plate. And then when I tell you, they were buying and buying and buying, and I was so grateful for that. And then I physically launched on February 10th when my website went live. And so that was it, pretty much. You know, so they stepped up.
Wow.
They stepped up. So I kind of had a presence with them. I had things already printed and kind of making drop-offs and things like that. But my first pop-up was in Delaware.
Okay.
It was in Delaware. There were 2 locations in Wilmington, Delaware that I kind of went back and forth and did pop-ups. So that's kind of like where I started. And from then on, just about, if not every weekend, maybe every other weekend, I would try to do pop-ups. So now I'm to the point where I'm kind of doing a pop-up of my own. My brother and I have a little thing where we do our own pop-ups. So we have our second one coming up in October. For the kids, by the way.
Oh, okay. so it's your apparel just t-shirts? Is it like going to be like long sleeve shirts for the fall and the hoodies?
Yep.
And
I have that. I have t-shirts. I have long sleeve shirts, crew necks, sweatshirts, hoodies, jackets. I have fedora hats. I have baseball caps. My fedora hats are hand-painted hats. My daughter's also an artist, so we collaborated where she's my painter for my hats. So, yeah.
Wow. So where do you see your apparel going?
Dokimos.
Dokimos, yeah.
That's okay. That's all right. I get a lot of people who mispronounce it. It's all right. You know what? I want to see, or I would love to see, God bless this brand, seriously. I would love to see it go global. I'm not, this is not a game for me. This is something that I believe in. I'm not working right now. So like, this is what I do. You know what I mean? So it's like 100%. I'm trying to, now don't get me wrong, there's some days, and I know you have to hustle to get your brand out there.
Right.
And there's some days I don't feel like it.
That's right.
You know, but you have to hustle. But I have to be careful out here on these streets, because there are times that my brother and I we're set up on the corners. So look, like I'm trying to do organic growth with my brand, you know. So, with the Lord's will, it'll go global. I'm looking for global.
So I'm gonna go back to when you first sold the shirts and the family, your friends were on it. Did you have them take pictures of the shirt and also like put it on your website?
Yeah. So yep. So everyone who what I should have done was, but I prefer to have people actually in the shirt. But I could have each time someone purchased a product from me, I could have had them send me the picture right away or took a picture right away.
Right.
But I prefer for the person to be in the shirt. So on my website, I have a blog at the bottom of my website. So you can see all the pictures of people who sent to me through social media or my cell phone, and I uploaded the pictures onto my blog on my website.
Wonderful. So, I just came in my mind just now. Dukimos. I don't know. Someone came in my thought about a conference or something, a conference or a summit for God's approval conference, like Dukimos summit. You know, I don't know what Target is going to be. It just suddenly came in my mind about a summit because because that you said that the meaning is so powerful. God's approval. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times we are doing things not for people's approval instead of God's approval. You know what I mean? And I just came in mind like a summit, a conversation or something about that. You know, like a workshop, like for people who are stuck. Okay, am I doing this for God? Am I in the right lane? Am I like in the right relationship? Am I in the right marriage? Or am I dating around the right people or around the right church? You know, that could go so many. That's literally came in my head because it's about for God approval. Because a lot of times I'll be speaking about that, like. You should please God, not people.
That's right.
And a lot of times, if you please people, you get burned out, get stressed and depressed and lonely. But if you please God, God will see the right people that He wants you to please, and then they're gonna come back and say thank you. They're gonna be grateful for that. It's because that right there is a powerful statement. Are we doing for God's approval? We are doing it for God's approval.
That's what I'm doing it for. And so, like I said, when you purchase something from me, whether it's the hat, the hoodie, whatever that looks like for you, and you go to grab that, you want to put your outfit on for the day, and you go to grab a Dokimo shirt or a hoodie or a hat or whatever, I want you to grab that, and when you put that thing on, because let me tell you something, it's being made with love.
Right.
When I create it at home, I print it, I weed it out, I press it, like I'm doing all of that at home. I don't have help. I don't have any outside entities that I can send off for them to do the work, and then they're shipping it. Now, prayerfully to get to that point where I can't handle the business, but right now I'm still at a point where I'm able to do it. So everything that I'm doing is with love. Trust me, it is. So when you put my brand on, I want you to feel that. Right. I want you to feel if you put on the shirt that specifically says Dokimos and that has God's approval.
Yeah.
Then I also have a shirt that has Perfectly Forgiven. I have a shirt for the women. There's a BBW, which is a negative connotation in the hood. You talk about BBW. Well, I put a spin on it and put BBW, which means beautiful, blessed woman. That's my shirt. I also have one that says favor. I put a spin on the word favor with an upside down heart for the A. So it's F, the heart, VR. That's my favor. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm just
being creative.
Being creative. I have a check. Now my son helped me with this. It's one that looks like a check, a physical check that's on a shirt. It says paid to the order of me. The signer at the bottom is Jesus Christ. I should have bought my shirt. I have my stuff, but it's in the car. But I should have ordered that. But it's like a physical check. The date is infinity, and you're getting this check. The memo at the bottom is for obedience. So when you're obedient to God, that's better than sacrifice.
Yep.
So obedience, there's a reward behind being
obedient. It is.
You know what I mean? So listen, That's just how I feel. That's just what I'm
you just doing what God's called you to do. And that's all we have. That's all we should do. You know what I mean? Because so much makes life so much simpler, and we do what God calls us to do. Is because we try to make things complicated, but God doesn't want to be complicated. God is a simple God. That's all He wants. Like, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, that apparel, I love it. I love it. So I was telling earlier that we do August Cafe in November. So I got 12 offers signed up. So
I'll be there. I'm excited. November 6th, right?
Yeah, I told all offers. So basically, all the offers got they pay the fee, they deposit the fee, and they get a table, and they get 2 free tickets. So they get 2 free guests to come. So a lot of people coming that day. So and I'm gonna get an opportunity to share about your business as well, because I think it's very important that you put yourself out there and share why you're doing it, because I want everyone that's there to leave like with less what they have. They're coming in like less books, less material, like, because we're about that. So what's next for you?
So what's next? Just continuing to try to push my brand, put it out there. I'm speaking into the universe that I can be in a mall eventually. That's what I would love to do. I would love to be in a mall. I do have an upcoming event. I'm going to Vegas actually next week. I have an opportunity to vend at the Black Food Festival in Vegas. Wow. So I'm super, super excited and so grateful and blessed for that. Like, I'm so grateful. How it came to me.
That's how it came.
So how that came to me, I used to model a few years ago, and I was under Smooch's Woman movement. And so I'm no longer modeling, but I still have a connection with those ladies. They'll always be my sisters. So the owner, Shantae Bradley, and her husband, they always go to Vegas every year for like a tour.
Gotcha.
So it's a curvy woman modeling movement.
Right.
So I called her up. I knew that they were going. I knew I couldn't go because I was also celebrating my birthday. It's a milestone. So I was supposed to have a party this upcoming Saturday. But when I found out about this and I reached out to her, I said, Shantae, can you just see if they, are there any opportunities for me to come out and vend to try to push my brand over to the West Coast a little bit? And she said, you know what? Let me find out. Let me see what I can do.
Right.
She works with a young lady who lives in Vegas who has a boutique out there. So it took a couple, I don't know, maybe weeks or maybe a couple of months. It took a minute for her to get back to me. So I thought that it just didn't come to fruition. So I continued to kind of plan for my birthday party. And then on a Friday evening, she sent me a message and she said everything is a go. And the young lady said that I can vend basically like in her spot because she's going to be super busy. She's a sponsor.
Right.
So she's going to be super busy and that it was just an opportunity that, came to me. And so I'm so grateful. And so my girlfriends are like, so we're not having a party? And I'm like, no, we're not having a party. I had an opportunity to go to Vegas. But I will say this. I do have so my husband and my girlfriends and my sister are all coming to Vegas with me.
Wow,
so I do have a little squad coming,
that's
so we'll celebrate my birthday then. But yeah, I have an opportunity to go, and I just feel like that's where God would have me to go.
That's a blessing, because that's because you get exposed to different people, different coasts, because the biggest supporters will be people that don't know you. So now you might get a whole new audience.
Who knows? Yeah.
So they might give you some ideas, inspiration, maybe some clothing brand, how you get some tips, some advice. You never know. That's a blessed opportunity, especially in Vegas. You know what I mean? So
I didn't want to pass that up.
Yeah, you can't pass it up, especially that's like a bucket list opportunity. Yes. So when you are, so you're a wife, you're a mother, you're Christian. I'll say creative. I'll say creative. What do you do with self-care?
So for self-care, and again, it's so funny that you should mention that because it kind of brought me back to why I started the organization after my mom passed away.
Okay.
Because I was her caregiver. And it was very, it took a lot out of you, or it takes a lot out of you as a caregiver, and it drains you.
Right.
So since all of that is, is past, and like I said, it's 2 years later, for self-care, it's just some downtime for me to kind of be by myself and just, I don't know, just relax. I listen to a lot of music, different genres. I'm not just one particular genre of music, but like, just be in a zone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To kind of just relax, or just step back and just take a breather. That's all it is when it comes to self-care. You have to take care of yourself.
That's right.
Because if you don't take care of yourself, you cannot be beneficial or a benefit to someone else.
That's right.
You can't.
That's right.
You can't. So that's what I do for self-care. I kind of just take a breather, relax. And let me tell you this. This is my mantra for the past, I guess, year with everything going on since I've kind of been, been in my 40s or whatever. You know how they say your credit has to be below 10% to have good credit, like keep the debt below 10%,
okay,
right?
Yeah.
Where your numbers will go up higher if you still use your cards and you still, build off your credit.
Right,
credit,
okay.
But keep the levels below 10%,
below 10%, okay.
So your credit will go up. That's how I feel for a stress level. I got to keep my levels below 10%. I can't be stressed out. I won't be stressed out. It's a deadly killer, and I'm not here for it.
Right. That's right. That's right. And
yeah.
so you said you're Jesus lover. So
I am.
Yeah. What is your go-to scripture?
You know what? Why you ask me that? I don't want no go-to scripture. Now I don't want you to think I'm that one that's like in the Bible like that. I ain't that. Okay. But I am. I don't have a go-to scripture. If I had to, wow. I don't know. I might have to stay in the book of Romans. Romans. What is that? Is it 8?
38, 39, 8,
28.
Oh, okay. I know. Okay.
I can do all things.
The perfect order. Yeah.
Right. If I had, no, don't judge me.
No.
But no, because I really feel in my heart I can do all things through Christ. Like, seriously.
Right.
He's my help. He's my go-to. He's my confidant.
Yes.
He's my Jehovah Rapha. He's my, you name it. That's just how I feel. Now, don't get me wrong. For me, I could do better with my one-on-one time with him.
Yeah.
But trust
I
and
agree.
believe, I know who to go to when I need, and I don't just go to God when things are going bad for me and I need His help. I thank Him for the good stuff as well.
Yeah.
I do, because it doesn't have to be that way.
That's true.
Didn't have to be that way. So I thank Him for the good. I thank Him for the bad.
Amen.
Because it teaches you as well.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah. To answer your question, if I had to, I would have to stay in the book of Romans.
Yeah. Okay. I know that was like totally out of the blue. Because mine was on Romans something too. Basically transform, not conform. And that came from. That's my scripture go to from 8 years now, because it came to me while I was starting my organization, Path to Greatness. So outside of me being off, I had my own nonprofit. So Path to Greatness came about basically from God. Pretty much like you start this movement. They know what it's going to be about. Basically getting youth to transform their mindset. So and then like through workshops on things that schools were not talking about. Like that's what they talking about now. We kind of started it. Like we're talking about relationship, we're talking about mental health, we're talking about domestic violence. So now like we're at a place where we want our young people to be healed, while they're young. Right. A lot of times we get to adults, we become broken, and we've been broken, but we don't know how to heal. So we get our youth to be healed while they're young and not carry the stuff that's hurt them into adulthood. Yeah. We did our job, you know. So that's what it was about. So I do this show because I want people that have been transformed by God and do what God's called them to do. Mm-hmm. So like that's like, because a lot of times at one point we're conformed to do something else, whatever that is, but God put a switch on us to change or transform our ways and do what He calls us to do. So like I never thought I'd be here in the real show host. I never thought that because of what I dealt with growing up. Mm-hmm. But I've seen the benefit and impact of people that been on my show the past 3+ years. So like, you know, because God is good all the time, and sometimes we got rely on that strength, you know, rely on that glory, rely on that power, because it can be worse. Mm-hmm. It can be.
Absolutely. I often say that to my children, like just them growing up. You know, sometimes people look at the world and say, oh my God, woe is me, this, that, and the other, and I get it. But sometimes you have to look at it, somebody is always doing worse off than you.
That's so true.
And it's an unfortunate thing, but that's just the reality of life. So you could sit here and you complain about, I don't know, A, B, and C. Mm-hmm. And someone's situation is just, they're not even they're complaining in their mind because they're not even able to verbalize the complaint.
Right.
Something as simple as that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I try my best not to complain. I'm human.
Yep.
I'm human.
Yes.
But I really try to be conscious and not complain, because there's always someone off worse than you are.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. Sometimes we gotta be grateful for the little things.
For the little things.
Yeah, grateful for the situation, because it can be worse. And like, you talked about, you mentioned you had COVID. You know what I mean? Like, and so many people die from COVID. You know what I mean? And like,
can I share something with you?
Go ahead.
Speaking of COVID, so my mom, like I said, she passed away in November 2019, right? Now my mom had cancer, and she had COPD for years. But when she took chemo, it sent her into end-stage COPD, right? So the point that I'm just trying to make is, I was devastated when my mother passed away, because we were super, super close. So I was devastated. And then when COVID came along, and then all this stuff was going on, and these people, the COVID wiped out so many nursing homes and things like that, I had to really sit back and say, well, you know what? Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God, for you doing it in the order that you did it in. Like we knew my mom was dying, right? Like we knew she was dying. But the fact that He took her before
all this stuff happened, yeah.
When I tell you, I sit and I think about that, because I often say to myself, if I couldn't go to her funeral, or if I couldn't bury my mother because she had a disease that they knew nothing about, a virus that they didn't know what to do with it. People were dying and they were burying them in mass graves and burning the bodies and doing, even though my mother wanted to be cremated. But what I'm saying is, I wouldn't have been able to have a service for her. I wouldn't have been able to go to the hospital to visit her. You know, I have to look through a phone to communicate with my mom. For the doctors to tell me she only had X amount of hours or days left before she passed away. I was there when they told me, your mom is dying, and she only, by the weekend she'll be gone. And she was. She passed that Sunday. I got that news on a Wednesday. She was gone that Sunday. So I'm grateful that God does what He does. We don't see it.
We don't see it. You don't understand it too. Like,
we don't understand
so you
it.
think, like, oh, now I understand why
I see why you did it the way you did it. So I was grateful for that. Like I said, it hurt me to my core, but I had to look at the big picture and was like, well, dang, at least I was able to bury my mom, and I saw her up to the day. Like, she passed on a Sunday morning. I left that night. And I said to my husband, I got home and I said to my husband, I should have stayed the night with my mom. He was like, you want me to take you back? See, that's the kind of husband I had. You know? He was like, you want me to take you back? I was like, nah, I'll see you in the morning. Nope. I got a call in the morning. Then they told me she expired. So, but nonetheless, like I said, I was grateful for the order. For the order.
Wow. Yeah, God does things in His own way.
In His own way.
You don't understand until you get some perspective on it. Oh, now I understand why you did this.
Yeah.
Sometimes we heard so many times like, why did this happen? And they think only God knows the future. Only God's looking forward to see what happens. We can't. We can't. So
we don't know.
We all know.
Yeah.
So, do you have any final words for us today?
I don't, except for thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I appreciate you allowing me to come on to just talk about my brand. And like I said, I just really trying to do a movement. And that's what it's about for me. So that's pretty much it.
And where can it get more apparel from? I'm sorry, get more information about you.
Sure. So I am on social media, Instagram and Facebook under Dokimos Apparel. Facebook is Dokimos Apparel LLC. Okay. Instagram is Dokimos Apparel _. And of course I have a website, which is dokimosapparel.com. So, but I often tell people to follow the social media pages simply because, again, I'm doing everything by myself, so I don't always have time to upload my stuff to my website, which I should, but I don't. So a lot of things you'll see on my social media page that you won't get a chance to see
on the website.
Just only simply because I just didn't have the time to put it up yet. But yeah, outside of that, that's pretty much it. I mean, again, we're having a pop-up for October 30th. It's for the kids. We have, about 20 vendors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's at Big Hustle Athletics in the Northeast. And if, anyone's interested in bringing the children out, costume is optional. It's not something that we, we don't do Halloween like that. So that's why it's not even called that. It's called Shop and Treats Pop-Up.
I like that.
So you're going to come and get some treats and some things for the parent, but the kids can get the shop for the parents and the kids can get the treats or whatever. But yeah, so that's the next thing that I have coming up after my Vegas trip.
Right, yes. Yeah, so then also the idea I came up with, maybe you do like a fashion show with do the new line for the kids. Maybe I don't know, maybe do a spring line or so, I don't know, like maybe some spring.
Okay, guess what? And I have not really considered the kids. I guess that's something that I could do. But you know what? I think part of that too is because of when you're trying to do apparel or any kind of business, they always ask you who's your core audience.
Right.
So for the most part, my core audience, they are people that are 30 to I have into the 60s buying my stuff. You know what I mean? So I didn't even think about the babies like that. But I guess that's something that I can branch off into in the near future for sure.
Okay. All right. So J Teri Liggons Brown, thank you so much for being a guest on my show. An absolute pleasure. I want to thank also Kimberly Walsh Hansworth for allowing us to meet.
Yes.
Yes, hopefully I get her on the show for the years out. Again, so that's without her, we would not have met at the event. Yes, right. Yeah. So, go support Dokimos Apparel.
Think of either you can think of dough like money.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Or you can think of the animal, the deer, female dough. Okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
So just think of the long O. There you go. The long O.
Yes. Thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you for being here. We will definitely connect. I will see you. Oh yeah, safe trip to Vegas as well. And I will see you November 6th, August Cafe 32. Yes. Gonna be an awesome event. Thank you for those who are watching. Tune in, you watch the playback and stuff. Support another black business owner right here. With that being said, stay safe, everyone. Keep God first and be safe in your travels. We'll see you next week on another episode of the Moments Trouble to Experience radio show. All right.